Alero had always been different. While other girls in her village of Okuta played with dolls and dreamed of marriage, she climbed trees, played football with the boys, and argued fiercely on any topic. She spoke her mind without fear, and because of that, she was labeled stubborn. Her relatives will shake their heads and whisper, "Who will marry Alero? She acts like a boy. No man wants a woman who cannot be quiet." But Alero never cared. She believed she was just being herself. Why should she pretend to be someone else just to please others? Her mother worried about her future. "My daughter, the world does not favor women who speak too much," she would say. But Alero would only smile. "Mama, I will not live in fear. If a man cannot accept me as I am, then I do not need him." One day, a young man named Tunde arrived in the village. He was the nephew of Chief Adisa, one of the respected elders in Okuta. Tunde had been raised in Lagos and had come to the village to take a break from the city life. Tunde was tall, dark-skinned, and had a confident charm that made him stand out. Unlike the young men in Okuta who carried themselves with the weight of tradition, Tunde had the energy of someone who had seen the world beyond the village. The first time he saw Alero, she was arguing with some men at the marketplace over the price of yams. Her voice was firm and her eyes burned with determination. "This price is too high," she declared. "Why should we women pay more than the men?" One of the men, an older trader, laughed. "Alero, must you challenge everything? Just accept it." "I will not," she shot back. "Fairness is fairness." Tunde watched, fascinated. He had never seen a woman so bold, so unafraid. "Who is that girl?" he asked his cousin. Jide. Jide laughed. "That is Alero. She's beautiful, but no man wants her. She's too stubborn. She thinks like a man." Tunde smiled. "She sounds interesting." Later that evening, Tunde saw Alero again by the river bank. She was washing some clothes, her sleeves rolled up, revealing strong arms. She worked with skill and ease, humming softly to herself. Something about her captivated him even more. Instead of walking past, Tunde decided to speak to her. "Do you always argue with everyone?" he teased, standing at a safe distance. Alero glanced at him and smirked. "Only when they are wrong." Tunde laughed. "And who decides who is right and who is wrong?" Alero shrugged. "The truth does." Tunde sat on a nearby rock. "I have never met a woman like you before." "Because most women are raised to be quiet," she said, wringing out her cloth. "I refuse to be silent." Tunde nodded, and "I admire that." Alero looked at him, skeptical. "Most men don't." "Well, maybe I'm not like most men." For the first time, Alero was caught off guard. She did not expect someone to see her strength as something to be admired. But she was not quick to trust. Many men had pretended to understand her, only to later tell her to change. "We'll see about that," she said, turning back to her washing. But Tunde was patient, and he had already made up his mind. Alero was someone worth knowing. Tunde made it a point to get close to Alero. He greeted her whenever he saw her, asked for her opinions, and laughed at her jokes. Alero, who was used to men avoiding her, was surprised. "Why do you always talk to me?" she asked one day. "Because I enjoy it," Tunde replied simply. Alero was silent. She was not used to such honesty. The more time Tunde spent with her, the more he admired her intelligence and bravery. He saw that behind her strong voice was a kind heart, a woman who only wanted to be respected. But Alero did not trust easily. He had heard whispers. He knew the village people thought Tunde was just playing with her. "You are wasting your time, Tunde," she told him one evening. "You don't have to prove anything to me." "I'm not proving anything. I just like you." "Alero, you are special." She looked at him, unsure what to say. It was rare for someone to call her special in a way that made her feel cherished rather than ridiculed. Tunde didn't rush her. He spent time with her, talking about his experiences in Lagos, his dreams, and his love for art and poetry. To Alero's surprise, he even wrote her a poem, something no man had ever done for her. One evening, he brought her a small, carefully carved wooden bracelet. "I made this for you," he said. "It's simple, but it reminds me of you, strong and beautiful." Alero took it, turning it over in her hands. She had never received a gift that was so thoughtful. She wanted to believe in him, but fear still lingered in her heart. "What if you change your mind?" she whispered. Tunde met her gaze, his eyes filled with sincerity. "Then I will have lost something precious, but I don't intend to." For the first time in a long while, Alero let her heart soften, just a little. One evening, Alero overheard some women gossiping. "Look at her, acting like she's special. Tunde will leave her soon. No man wants a woman like her." Alero's heart ached. She had convinced herself she did not care about love, but she realized she had started falling for Tunde. The fear of heartbreak gripped her. She decided to push him away before he could leave her. She avoided him, refused to speak to him, and pretended she did not exist. But Tunde was not a man who gave up easily. One day, he confronted her. "Alero, why are you running away from me?" "I am saving myself for embarrassment," she said bitterly. "Soon you will leave, and I will be the fool who thought she was loved." Tunde stepped closer, his voice soft but firm. "I have never played with your heart, Alero. Why can't you believe me?" He folded her arms, her eyes ached, searching his face. "Because people change. Because the world has told me over and over that I'm too much for any man." Tunde exhaled and took her hand gently. "You are not too much. You are exactly enough, and I choose you." Tears welled up in Alero's eyes, but she blinked them away. She wanted to believe him, but fear held her back. "Give me a chance," Tunde continued. "Not because of what people will say, but because of what you feel in your heart." Alero hesitated, but deep down, she knew the truth. She was already in love with him. The walls around her began to crack. The annual New Yam Festival arrived, and the village gathered for the celebrations. As the drums beat, and the elders prepared the feast, Tunde stood before the crowd and declared, "I love Alero and I will marry her." Caps filled the air. People laughed. Some whispered. Alero's relatives tried to stop him. "Tunde, think well. She's not a wife material." Tunde held Alero's hands. "She is my wife material." Alero's eyes filled with tears. She had spent her whole life believing no man would fight for her. Yet, here was Tunde, declaring his love in front of everyone. Her heart swelled with emotions. She squeezed his hand, stepping forward with him, embracing their future together. Months later, they got married. It was not an easy journey, but love had won. As Alero stood beside Tunde, she knew she had found one person who saw her for who she truly was and loved her all the same. Moral lessons. Number 1. Be yourself. Alero never changed who she was to fit into society's expectations. In the end, she found someone who loved her for who she truly was. 2. True love stands strong. Despite all the gossip and encouragement, Tunde's love for Alero never wavered. Love that is real withstands obstacles. 3. Do not judge too quickly. The villagers judged Alero and believed she would never find love, but she proved them wrong. 4. Believe in yourself. Alero was confident and never allowed people's opinion to break her spirit. Self-belief is important in life. And finally, fight for what you want. Tunde did not let other people's opinions stop him from being with Alero. Sometimes, you must fight for what makes you happy. The end. I hope you've enjoyed this story. As usual, please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.